Bonus Stage, the show where a game collector on a budget looks for the treasures among the thrift store trash. With a winter storm on the way outside, I've decided against my original idea of going on a trip to a thrift store up north, so instead of sliding off the road, we're just going to slide on over to my local thrift store. And we're back at Savers of Orange, Connecticut. And the selection today isn't good. It's pretty bare, actually. I mean, no sports games, we don't do that here. And Call of Duty, I've played that. Sonic Riders and Just Dance 2. Sonic Riders could actually be pretty cool, but maybe another time. I'm looking for something else. Luckily, they keep the good stuff up front. Alright, let's see what they've got. Metroid Prime, I've played it. Donkey Kong Country Returns, I loved it. But hey, Mario Kart Wii, believe it or not, I have not played this version. A few things before we get started. You might be saying that $15 is a bit much for a video game, especially when it's used, and you wouldn't be wrong. However, this is Mario Kart Wii, and this game goes for $35 in used, acceptable condition on Amazon right now. And if you could still have a copy with the Wii Wheel, which was just bundled in with most copies of the game, you could get up to $48 right now. It's insane value. Secondly, I think it's safe to say that all of us have played Mario Kart in some form, whether that was the original SNES version or the N64 version, which was my first game on the entire system. I remember playing this bad boy throughout my school years and at parties in college, destroying friendships and controllers alike. MK64 is a blast and a legendary game. These days I love playing around on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Nintendo Switch, which was originally released for Wii U. This game continues the tradition of this fun franchise and brings back a lot of older stages from previous versions. So maybe in that way, I kind of played Mario Kart Wii. Sort of. Since I really want to see how this stacks up against all the other Mario Karts that I've played, from SNES up to the Switch, and I'm kind of a purist, I went out and made sure I had the accessory that was supposed to be bundled with this game. So enter the Wii Wheel. I got this at a local game store for less than $2. It's literally a hunk of plastic to hold the Wiimote, but it does make for an interesting feel. So before we dive into gameplay, let's hit you with some facts and history on the game. Published and designed by the geniuses at Nintendo, Mario Kart Wii was released in April 2008, putting this game at nearly 11 years old at the time of this video. With over 37 million sales, Mario Kart Wii is the 10th best-selling video game ever. That's ahead of any other Mario franchise on the console, and it's only just behind the original NES Super Mario Bros. And if you don't include the packaged-in Wii Sports, this game is Wii's all-time bestseller. And finally, this game brought a much-wanted feature to the franchise for the first time: online play. Probably to no one's surprise, this game was very well received. IGN, GameSpot, and Game Informer all gave it a solid 8.5 out of 10, while Metacritic states an average score of about 82% among all reviews. We're looking here at Nintendo at its absolute best, so it's time to dive into the game. At the time of release, Mario Kart Wii had the largest roster ever, which expanded up to 24 characters when fully unlocked. Custom kart features were also expanded from its predecessor, Double Dash, on GameCube. Let's start off with the obvious. Driving with the Wii Wheel takes some getting used to. After playing for years with a Nintendo 64 controller, and now more recently the Switch for really so long, suddenly only having a few buttons to use feels really strange. Banking is tougher, and real-life drivers will likely feel like they're overdoing it on all of their turns. You can just see how much I'm struggling with my control here. I'm not using any special kart or any special controls. I'm on automatic. And yet I'm still banking all over the place, hitting the walls, smashing. Let's be frank, I'm a complete mess with this Wii Wheel. Luckily, by lap 3 here, I seem to have gotten most of it under control. The Wiimote and Wii Wheel by extension are just super sensitive. So give yourself a few rounds before you or your buddies try to be super competitive with it. It's only fair. Of course, I stubbornly decided not to be fair to myself. I jumped right into the Mushroom Cup, which is easy, and here I am on Moo Moo Meadows, and it's back to bumping into everything. Bananas, walls, even those cows, you name it. I'm starting to lose it, because I'm a pretty decent player on the other versions. What gives, Wii Wheel? Alright, you know what? Enough of this. I've had it with the Wii Wheel. I'm moving over to my GameCube controller, so at least I can keep my pride intact here. Thankfully, the game is compatible with not only the Wiimote and Wii Wheel, but the classic controller for Wii and GameCube controllers as well. Thank God. As you can see, this time around I'm not faring too badly. With a classic controller in my hand and an analog stick, I'm pretty much back to being the same player I've always been, including getting smashed by the blue shell every freaking time. As it goes with these kind of controllers, the more buttons, the more control you have over your cart, and the better it is to race. So my suggestion is, if you're going to play this against your friends, grab a GameCube controller, plug it in, and go for it. Back on the stage where I was struggling so much before with the Wii Wheel, you can see that the controls are a little more smooth for me now on a controller, and I'm not losing as much. What a shock! Being so new to the game, I still struggled in certain parts, but you know, that comes with every Mario Kart game. You have to learn all the levels. But they're really cool, and they have some really amazing tricks up their sleeves, which it's pretty cool to see. And if you're not interested in racing, there's always the battle mode, which was greatly improved here with a huge amount of team play. Something that wasn't really available in the original N64 version, and it made for an interesting time when I played. As you would probably expect, there isn't much to say that's negative about Mario Kart Wii. It's a fun time, despite a bit of a learning curve if you choose to use its motion driving features. Just plug in a GameCube controller and you'll be set. So what's the verdict? Yeah, leave it on the store shelf. Just leave it, it's not worth it. I mean really, guys, buy it, duh, come on. It's a legend. Thanks for checking out Bonus Stage. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to make sure you get notified when we go live with new videos. We'll see you next time.